Stephen A., you were on the air when this news broke. You've had a few hours to let it sink in, and a couple decades of writing experience in Philly. How do you feel about LeBron James, the Sixer?
Well, it was shocking to say the least, because I always thought that, the love and affection that he obviously has for Cleveland and Cleveland has for him, because that's home, is not something he would dangle in their face and then go to another Eastern Conference team. That was just my belief. So I was shocked by the decision for him to go to Philadelphia, but I can't knock it. It's clearly a great move on his part. When you consider the fact that Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jaylen Brown is on the same team, that's your backcourt for years to come. That is set. Joel Embiid obviously is problematic because of his injury history, but you're talking about a guy like LeBron James, although 41 years of age, or approaching 42, entering his 24th season in the NBA. This is a man that played all 5 positions for the Los Angeles Lakers last season. He spent some time playing the center spot. So at 6'9", 260, in the event that Joel Embiid can't go, you never know if they needed LeBron to do something like that he could do that. Plus, obviously, he's natural at a 4, natural as a 3. He's a basketball savant. He's a leader. He's a 4-time champion. And the last time he was in the Eastern Conference, he went to 8 straight NBA Finals. That's what we have to remember about LeBron James. So considering this roster, considering the fact that it's a 43-year drought by the city of brotherly love since they last won an NBA championship, knowing what's at stake, he's going to be in that bubble. It's going to be electric in the city of Philadelphia. I spoke to Charles Barkley earlier today. I spoke to Allen Iverson earlier today. Both of them are excited that he's in Philadelphia. They know what that city is about, what it can be about when they've got a potential winner on their hands. And make no mistake about it, the Philadelphia 76ers are one of the top 2 teams, if not the top team in the Eastern Conference right now, with a lot of people believing that the Philadelphia 76ers is going to be in the finals in June.
Looking at this roster, though, it's absurd. And the lineup, you got a big 4, plus the guy who just finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year. Stephen A., when you look at this lineup, who is under the most pressure for this to work and work well?
I believe it's LeBron James. Make no mistake about it. I mean, Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate who just finished averaging 28.7 points per game. Tyrese Maxey as the 4th leading scorer in the league. Tyrese Maxey was the 5th leading scorer in the league, averaging 28.3. VJ Edgecombe was a rookie, a top 3 rookie in the NBA, giving you about 16 a night with elements or moments of the spectacular. Joel Embiid is perpetually injured, so the bottom line is what pressure is going to be on him. The pressure is going to be on him to stay healthy, and no doctor on the planet has been able to figure that out, even in the age of technology. So there's a limited amount of pressure when it comes to him because it involves health as opposed to his game. But it's LeBron James because he's the basketball savant, because he's the leader, because he's the champion 4 times over, a league MVP 4 times over, because he's Mr. Box Office, because he's a big reason why people are going to be walking through the turnstiles. Not to mention the fact that if he can give you anything close to what you've seen him do over the past 22 years, that the Philadelphia 76ers, even without a healthy Joel Embiid, could still find themselves in the NBA Finals. That's how lethal of a roster they are. Of course, my New York Knicks will have something to say about that as the reigning, defending NBA champions, with a level of cohesion and cohesiveness that the Philadelphia 76ers don't have right now. We got to look at a Maxey who just learned to be the number 1 option. We got to look at a Jaylen Brown who departed from Boston because he wanted to be a number 1 option, and he's a number 2. And now you got to look at LeBron James, who spent the last year lamenting the fact that he was a number 3 option for the first time in his illustrious career. So there's only one basketball. You got to figure a way to figure it out. But nobody's looking at Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Maxey or even Nick Nurse to some degree to figure it out. They're looking at LeBron James because he's got the resume, the credentials, the cachet, all right, and the resume to pull it off. It's an expectation when it comes to him. It's a hope for everybody else. That's why the pressure lies with him.
Pleasure to have Hall of Famer Michael Wilbon join us. LeBron's presence, Wilbon, has equated to a title at every stop for him. But how long of a process, pardon the pun, is this going to be for LeBron to gel with this new set of teammates and reach that championship potential?
I've been listening to my friends and colleagues, dear friends and colleagues, and you would think it's just add water, get a championship. I mean, this is fascinating news. It's wonderful news. I can't wait to see it all play out. But this does not happen overnight, and it's unlikely to happen in year 1. Let's go back for a second to when LeBron James was at his absolute athletic height, 2010-2011 season. He's playing with Dwayne Wade. Nobody on this roster is Dwayne Wade. He's playing with Chris Bosh. Those guys played, all 3 of them, 76 games or more that season, and they did not win the championship. It took a year. Now, this roster is This is incredible. Again, we all want to watch it. We can't wait to opening night. Wish we could fast forward. Joel Embiid in his last 3 years, I won't take the order of games, but it's like 38, 19, and 39. If Joel Embiid is not out there for 50-plus games in all the playoffs, they're not winning anything. So they're going to need Joel Embiid. LeBron knows that. He knows how difficult. Winning a championship is hard. And we've seen one of the handful of greatest players of all time with great teammates. And, it took a little time, and it's going to take some time in Philadelphia. They got the right people, the roster. They've got Nick Nurse, as I'm glad has been said, who wears the championship ring. But the notion that they're going to roll the ball out on the floor and the Sixers are going to be better than the Knicks and be better than Oklahoma City and be better than San Antonio is dumb. It's not paying attention to the reality and the history of professional basketball.
Yeah, and to your point, the defending champ Knicks are the favorites to win the East right about now. Sixers are behind them by just a bit. But look, they're not the only two teams that are worth a conversation in the East overall. So how do you see that conference playing out?
Trevor, it's interesting with the conference. I was just sitting here jotting down teams. I'm going to some glasses here off the top of my head. And after I go Knicks, Sixers, and that's the order I'm willing to start the season in. How about Detroit? I don't know that they've done a lot in this offseason, but Detroit was threatening last year, certainly beat the Knicks around in the regular season. Cleveland, Orlando, Atlanta, which has done some interesting things. Miami, which I'm just now getting into. I'm not even sure that puts them top 6, maybe. How good is Boston? Still. It's not like they gave away their entire roster, even though I can't believe they're going to be playing ahead without Jaylen Brown. Charlotte got better. Indianapolis returns Tyrese Halliburton. You've got all of that in the East. I think I just named 10 teams. And then that doesn't even deal with what we're dealing with in the West with Oklahoma City and San Antonio. So that East, you're not going to have pigeons to just pile up victories on and get to 70. Like even the Wizards and the Bulls now will not be just homecoming opponents. There are only a couple of those in the East. Milwaukee looks like one of them to me. Brooklyn looks like one of them to me. I'm not sure there's anybody else in the East you can just count in on going into their place on a given night and saying, we got this. Not while you're building your team and you're figuring out how 5 guys with high usage, all brilliant basketball players in different ways, including the most brilliant in LeBron, how they're going to fit. It takes a while. So the notion that they're going to roll the ball out and just be, oh my God, the Globetrotters, or if I'm the Knicks, speaking of chip on shoulder, how about the New York Knicks right about now after they hear this? You think they don't want to start the season? They're the champions. It took them years. It took them disappointment and heartache to play through, and they finally did it. And if they're healthy, I'm taking the Knicks. Not even necessarily to win the whole thing, but certainly to come out of the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Next Wednesday, Wrexham will play at Yankee Stadium here on ESPN. Is there extra excitement for you and the team being able to play at the home of one of the most iconic franchises in all sports?
Oh, it's so far beyond pinch me. It's like a punch me moment. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, the fact that Wrexham is coming to America on their 3rd trip, last of which being in 2024, but we're not only coming to America to play again in what has always been the most exhilarating and exciting thing to see live, but to do it with 3 Premier League teams in a row in Tampa, New York, and Philly is pretty amazing. To host Liverpool FC in Yankee Stadium with that kind of history and pedigree, I just don't know what to make of it. I mean, we cannot wait to fill that stadium and watch the boys out there just do what they do best. I mean, it's always so electric, and the 165-year plus history of Wrexham has seen its fair share of giant killings, and Liverpool is as big as it gets, certainly on the world stage. So we're very excited to see what we can do.
And Rob,
I don't know if a lot of people know this about football in particular, but it's not like preseason in a lot of other sports. So, oftentimes NFL games, for example, or spring training, it's fun, but it's not as competitive. Trust me, these guys want to win. Everybody is desperate to win. They are ready to go. And we've been texting with quite a few of them, and they're champing at the bit to get out there and go put on a show and see if we can do something magical.
During FanFest, LeBron said people are going to be talking about the East this season, another Easter egg that he dropped. So what would you say is the pecking order in the East now that LeBron is going to Philly?
So there is a clear top tier to me in the East right now. New York Knicks are still number 1. Right below them, it's Philadelphia and Toronto, because they have kind of the same question, which is their big star who is going to be healthy? Will Kawhi Leonard be healthy in Toronto? And will Joel Embiid be healthy in Philadelphia? Like, the biggest issue, the biggest question that LeBron James and everybody else has to answer right now is, can we trust Joel Embiid, and how can we keep him healthy? Is it LeBron James helping him stay in shape, helping him play as many games as possible? Is it Joel Embiid playing 40 games in the regular season so he can be healthy come playoff time? Fixing that puzzle, which nobody has been able to fix so far in the NBA, is the biggest challenge that Philadelphia has in front of them. But before we get to that point, it is the fact that there are 4 stars on that Sixers team, and that at any point in 48 minutes, you can have 2 all-NBA level players on the court at the same time. That helps them a ton, but it really, the same question stands that we've always had in Philadelphia. Will Joel Embiid be able to play come April, May, and June?